So after a long weekend in the sense 2 days, that's all. So what did you do? I celebrated a birthday, totally in a birthday mode for 2 days. I did make a video especially for Aaron on Saturday, right? Saturday was the birthday. So Saturday and Sunday went in that mode of celebrating a birthday, and I wanted to make a music video which I did not make. I made some excuses not to make it because I was busy with this birthday, and I just got over it now in the morning. I decided from today it's a different, the festivals are over, the celebrations are over. I have to do something different, like you have to be doing something really serious most of the time, you know. You need to have some time reserved for fun activities, but it has to end at some time, and then you have to get back to work. So I decided I have to start it from today, and probably I might make a song video tomorrow or today. You know, it's difficult because I don't have the habit of making a planner in the morning. I don't maintain a planner like what I'm going to do today. I don't do that. Probably for people who maintain that, it's much easy because you know you have done so much and you are going to do so much, so you know how to adjust the time accordingly, right? Since I don't do that, everything doesn't fit in the day, and by the day is over and you are back in bed, and then I say night is the best time. I don't know why, so that's how it goes. So how do we manage time? That's a question. You know, even for a housewife or a person who sits at home, we think they don't have work, but they are the ones who have the most of the tasks to do, and they hardly know where the time went by. You know, they hardly spare any time for themselves to enjoy, or usually I'm talking about, there are exceptions, but I'm just telling that everybody, grown-ups, everybody have their own work to do, and by the end of the day you don't know where the time has gone. So I would like to say that even if we have 2 or 3 activities to do in a day, that's all, still there must be an idea of when and what you have done in a day. You know, when I'm talking about busy schedules, there is also the other extent of it, when we don't have anything to do in life. You know, that is another headache. If we don't have anything to do, we really don't know what to do, and that also leaves us pretty much restless. The other day I was talking about retired life, and I was telling people usually plan for a lot on the financial side of life, but they hardly plan for the mental aspects. And then suddenly you get into the retired life and you have no idea what you are supposed to do with the time, and that was one aspect which I said. There are other aspects also, the disadvantages of a retired life. Yeah. So you need to plan what you're going to do after retirement. Why so? Because you have enough time and you don't know what to do with the time. Because people usually, when they are employed, they are used to that kind of life where they have so much to do and they have very less time. You know, usually women have the same phase when children are small, when they are a lot depending on you. So the women are pretty busy with the raising of the children and running the house, and they have very little time for anything. They are totally busy with those activities. But then the children grow up and they experience something like they don't have anything to do, they don't know what to do. You know, that kind of that even women go through that, even a housewife for that matter. But people, especially men, they go through that, and even women who are employed, they face the same situation when they have to pass through the retired life. So what I'm telling is that both ways we have to maintain a balance. We need to have something to do in life. That's about it. So even if it is 1 or 2 activity a day, you need to know, because you know that there are about 12 hours in day hours, forgetting about the night hours. We still have a lot of time, and what are we going to do with that time? So that question comes. So it's always better if we know what we're going to do with our time in a day. That's it. So today I'll be a little busy in the afternoon, so I thought rather than afternoon thought, let me have a morning thought. It's nice to have a morning thought and an evening thought. I hardly ever have a night thought, because night I just have bath after dinner. I have early dinner around 7:30. That's a habit, and then I get to the bed. That's my bedtime. I don't sleep, but then I'm in the bed going through something or reading something or texting or just be there. That's it. After 8:30, that is. So that's the reason I usually don't have night thoughts, and that is just one reason. The main reason is that there is no lighting. So this is natural lighting, and you can see the difference when there is natural lighting. This camera works much better with natural lighting. This is a mobile, and so that's how it is. So that is one excuse we all make, that we don't know why we didn't do something. We thought of doing it, but we couldn't do it for some reason. And then the main thing is that we didn't have time. We didn't have time. We had time, but we didn't plan it accordingly. That's it. That's the reason. We did not plan our activities accordingly, how we are supposed to do it. That's it. So how do you guys manage time? Tell me. That's a question for today. How do you manage time? I hope I have not I have not put forward this question before, because now I have no idea what I am talking, since I'm showing up every day. I have no idea at all what I am talking about. Just come sit here and speak something, that's all. So the thing is, today let's talk about time. What do you do with the time you have? There's a quote, everybody has the same time, as much as you, as much as me, as much as any other person. We all have the same hours in a day. But then what makes the difference is that how we utilize the time we have. That's it. So the difference is in how we utilize it. So how are you spending your time? That's one question. How are you spending your time? How much of your time? How many excuses are you making? Are you even aware of the excuses that you make? I feel really guilty when I say that I didn't do this and I had to do this. I feel very bad for myself when I have to say this. Even if it is about making a song video, any small thing. When I say I have to do something and I didn't do it, later I have no idea how to explain that I didn't do it. What is the reason I can say? When I was working in a school, anytime I'd been given a task, I always finished it in the time. I used to ask the superiors, give me a deadline, because when you tell me a deadline, I know that there is a time limit. I can't just sit there and take my own good time to finish it. So she was very surprised. She used to tell me, you're the first person whom I've seen asking for deadlines. I said it's better that way. It works like a reminder for me, because there are millions of things that we have to do, but if there is a deadline, you get to finish it by that time. Because I feel really bad for myself. I feel guilty if I said something that I'm going to finish it and I couldn't finish it. I don't know what excuse I'm going to make on that. And making excuses makes me feel guilty. Does it happen with you? how do you manage that? You said something and you couldn't do it for some reason. How does it feel to put it forward to someone else that you couldn't do it for so and so reason? So that's about it. So today's topic, we can also say what is your art of making excuses. You wanted to do something, you couldn't do it. What is it about? How do you manage that? Even if it is a small thing, you promised someone something, you couldn't do it. That's a higher range. That's something superior than this. But coming to the simple things, you thought of doing something and it just slipped off from your day, from your schedule. You couldn't do it. So how are you going to face it and tell yourself that you didn't do it the next day? How do you manage that guilty feeling of not doing it? It's a small thing, but for me it's not a small thing. I keep thinking about it. Now I said I'm going to make a music video. I didn't do it because of the birthday, and 2 days I spent on that. Now today is Monday, which means that that thing which you had to do yesterday or day before yesterday still remains the same. You cannot just, either you have to put it back from this week's schedule and carry on with the other stuff that you're going to do, or it just keeps moving one step forward, right? The things that I am supposed to do today, I will not be able to do today because I will have to do yesterday's work today, right? That's a small thing, simple thing. You might think I'm complicating it, but I don't know. I'm just asking, how do you manage it? That's it. Like you had to do something and you couldn't do it. What excuses do you usually make, and how does it feel to make excuses? Do you feel guilty like how I feel? That's the question. Okay? Excuses, we all have excuses. Sometimes we can't help it. The reasons that we give for not doing something or for anything, the reasons that we provide are usually the excuses. But when it is about a negative aspect of life, like about not doing something or not able to make, this not comes in between whenever it is an excuse. So that's usually, even in schools, teachers always ask you, what is the excuse that you made for not doing your homework? And you just stand there knowing that there is a reason. And why is the teacher calling it an excuse? When she gives it a term excuse, it feels kind of where it is heading to, so you really don't like to face that, right? But when you grow up, we still make excuses, and I feel really guilty. Even as a child, I always felt guilty not doing something, because when you're responsible in life, you know the weight of the responsibilities, and not to do something makes you feel really guilty. I'm not good in making excuses, though sometimes we can't avoid it. We just have to make some excuses. Like now, today, I didn't make a music video. It's not like it is an assignment or I'm paid for it, or it's so mandatory that I do it. It's not like that. But it was there in my schedule and I didn't do it, which means that it is still there. And it's once you avoid doing something, that it becomes easily, it can end up being a habit. It's very easy to cultivate bad habits, but good habits, it's very difficult. So that's how it is. So it's better if we don't make excuses and just keep on doing the things that we are supposed to do. Life is much better that way. We are able to run life more smoothly when we do the things that we decide we have to do today, every day. That's it. And if you have to make us excuse, just you might feel guilty about it. It's a good sign. If you're feeling guilty, you didn't do something. Yeah, because it means that you are serious about the things that you're doing in your life. At least you reflect on it, why you couldn't do something that you said you were supposed to do. That's for today. I'll be back tomorrow with something interesting. Happy weekdays, and keep it productive. That's all. I'll be back tomorrow.